All right. Good evening, folks. I'm here. Am I the singing man? Am I the singing man? I don't know. Is that who am I the singing man, Ainsley? Anyway, it sounds like my code name. It's great to be here with you all. We'll get started here in about 5 minutes. Excited for tonight for a couple reasons. I'm really looking forward to it. You're on the YouTube channel, so yes. I guess you're right. Unless I'm like disassociating, and like I will say, when I am doing this, like the way the setup looks is I look at the chat over here, which again I love to see. I love all the chats, both when they are productive and also when they're funny. And I love this mechanism part of it. But I will say I'm also like looking at myself the whole time, which is like a very strange, again, meta situation. But good evening, everyone. Great to see you. I'm excited for tonight for a couple reasons. We'll talk about some not super concrete, but some more plans about the future, which I'm really excited for. So that's going to be awesome. But I am looking forward to all this. Let me pull up my little monitor to make sure that I am kicking it. And I'm going to practice for a couple more minutes. A couple tricky bits. Oh, there we are. And get myself aligned here. All right. Some tricky notes tonight. Harder for me than you, I think. When I slow it down, it sounds better. All right. I will say all of this virtual stuff has meant that I've worked with a metronome more than I ever have before than I have in my life willingly, and I'm now a metronome convert. When I was growing up, when I was a kid, I had an amazing piano teacher. I think I've told many people before. I had the same piano teacher from the age of 5 until I was 18, my whole life, and she was amazing musical. Arlene Bailey. She was amazing musical influence on my life, and she was friendly and warm, but also like very like strict. Like you didn't mess with her. And she was very big on. I was a bit rebellious in piano lessons. I was not a great practicer, and she really made us practice with the metronome. So I developed this metronome, like a hatred of the metronome. And now that I go and make these tracks, I've learned to love the metronome. And I've noticed that my playing, everything about my musical life has gotten better. It's almost like my teachers knew something. Oh, it's so beautiful. I can't wait to get to that tonight. It's so good. Then you got all these tricky notes, though. Good evening, Cornelia. Good evening, Judith. Jane's here. Yay. We'll get going here in just 2 minutes, folks. So happy to be here. Oh my gosh. Such great music. I had a phone call with Sharon today talking about some business for us, which got me happy and excited. It's also always just great to talk to Sharon. So that's awesome. Good day all around. I have my Baby Yoda mug. This was a gift from my sister. I'm a big Star Wars fan, if no one knows. I for years now have really I we are going to talk about possible outdoor stuff, Letty, here coming up soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But I am, in my mind is a concert that I don't think is too far off, which is the name of it would be Music of Stage and Screen. And so it's music that is that would be of Star Wars and of all this other stuff, and Broadway and sort of Carmina Burana, all these other very interesting things. Nancy, Beverly is good. I've been email exchanging with her back and forth. I know they get a lot of snow out where they are, but I believe she is doing well. I'm going to actually check up in with her this week about our sort of plans coming up. But I will let you all know how she is, and I hope we can get jamming with her again really soon. I will say, the weather on our Sundays, today's not that bad. Today's not as nice, but the past couple of Sundays have been wild, and so I'm happy she hasn't had to drive out all to our rehearsals that she usually has to on those really awful weather days. But anyway, good evening, folks. It is 6. We'll give folks just a few more minutes to join us, and then we will kick off. We're going to start tonight. We're going to warm up, and then we're going to dig in with reviewing the Sanctus, just to sing through of it to get our voices moving, get ourselves singing. We'll just do that real quick. And then we're going to dig back into the Offertory and sort of clean up all those pieces that we were that we sort of started to learn the past couple days, and then the past couple rehearsals. And then we're going to do a little sight reading of the Agnus Dei, which will be our next project. And then, believe it or not, we're almost all the way through the piece. And then that's going to lead us into learning our Ole Yelo. It's going to lead us into some exciting opportunities we have coming up. And I'm really pumped tonight. And I've been so encouraged by all of your participation in these virtual rehearsals, which I know are tough. It's not the best way to learn music. It's certainly not as fun, but it's amazing to still be in community with each other. And I keep saying that because it's so true. I leave these rehearsals feeling so up, and I hope you do too. Just to have a couple minutes of beauty in the middle of our crazy world, right? And so again, it's funny. And I also think that January and February, we've sort of started off sort of with these virtual rehearsals, a little slowish. And then I really do think the pace is really going to start picking up for all of us. I think we're going to be pretty busy as we head towards May. But okay, I'll give folks one more minute to log on, and then we'll get going with warm-ups. And of course, we have folks that join us 10 minutes in, 20 minutes in, and so we'll wait for them. Again, I'm just going to sip my coffee a little bit. But I am done with the snow. I was fun to have snow for like 3 days, and now I never want to see it the rest of the year. I'm ready for spring. Carol's here. Yay, we can really begin it. Carol's here. Awesome. All right, so a few more minutes, and then we'll do our little warm-up. And we'll get going. Lots of great music tonight. All right, let's warm up. Let's do it. Everyone stretch up as high as you can go with your whatever arm you think this is. Right, I think. The other one left. I've never quite mastered the mirroring of which way I want you all to go. George, a veteran physical education teacher, talked to me about it. He was an expert at it once. All right, roll their shoulders forward, roll them back. Oh man, release all of that craziness. If you're worried about your week, just try to put it at bay just for an hour here with us tonight. Good, shoulders back, body tall. I want everyone to breathe in for 4 and then out for 4. Ready? Breathe in. And out. Good. In for 4, out for 8. Ready? Breathe in. Out. In for 4, out for 12. Ready? Breathe in. Out. Out. Good. In for 4, out for 16. Ready? Breathe in. Out. Good. All right, let's do a little veil. Nice and loose. Veil. Veil. Good. Let's do a little real nasally sound. Just get our resonance going. We do a little ming, 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 ming. Ready, go. Ming, 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 ming. 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 Everyone go, woo! Good. All right. The Latin words are Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei. Everyone say that? Agnus Dei. And we're going to sing on. So we're going to sing Agnus Dei. Let me do that again. You're going to sing Agnus Dei. 4 very distinct vowels. A, U, De, E, E. The Dei vowel is the same. All right, here we go. Ready and go. Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei. Agnus Dei. One more. Agnus Dei. Very good. One more, my friends. I love to sing. Ready, go. I love to sing. 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 One more. I love to sing. Very nice, everybody. All right. Go ahead and turn to the Sanctus. We're going to start with the Sanctus. We're just going to do a little run through of it. So as you're getting there, reminder, what we're going to do tonight is a couple things. We're going to go through, we're going to sight read a little bit. We're going to review a bunch of the stuff in the Offertory. And then in the middle of rehearsal, we're going to take a little, just a five-ish minutes for me to talk about sort of what our plans are going to be going through into March and into April and into May. There are still some questions, but we have much firmer information and we have some dates and some things for you to fill out to judge interest so we can start figuring out some things about how we are going to get this concert recorded, how we are going to sing together again in all the different ways that we can at this time. So that's going to be in the middle of rehearsal. And again, nothing super groundbreaking, but really exciting stuff moving forward. All right, but let's begin with reviewing the Sanctus. Again, sing the part that's most comfortable is one of my big philosophies. So if you're an alto and you just think that soprano part is too high for you, go and sing the tenor part. It will help smooth out the tenor section, right? And sopranos, really sing as soloistically and beautiful as you can on that soprano part. All right, beginning of the Sanctus. Here we go. Let's just run through it once. Here we go. Sopranos, here we the bass. Here we go, soprani. Here we go. Beautiful. What a good way to get our voices going and our bodies engaged. I love it. All right, now let's not waste any time and go back a whole movement to the offertory. And let's go to the beginning of the offertory. Now, as we discussed sort of last week, one of the sort of challenges of this movement, I think, are twofold. One, the rhythm, and the fact that it feels so slow, and you have to think of those eighth notes as carrying the beat, but also getting all of this text out. O Domine Jesu Christe Rex Gloriae. So, as we review, and we're going to review this stuff section by section, we're going to read it, go back and forth. As we go back and do that, do what you need to do. 53 and 54 at the end of the Sanctus. I'm going to check this spot real quick, Ruth. Yes, clear break. Yes, clear break. Yes, clear break. Clear break. Yep. Clear break. For the sopranos and altos, tenors and basses obviously carry through. All right. Now, back to the beginning of the offertory. So it is about this slow unfolding of text. So as we go through this tonight, the reason I brought this up is do what you need to do. If you just need to sing on do, do, do to try to keep getting those pitches, the rests for the altos. Don't quite understand what you mean by the rests, but if you mean the eighth rest, so again, if we look here, like look at measure 12. So there's two little rests there. Those are eighth rests, right? So you're going to feel them as two beats, right? Together, they make 1/4 rest, right? But they're little eighth rests. So when you get here, like say you're here, you're penny, sin, fe, ni, rest, rest, et de profu. So that feels like a beat, da, da. Measure 14. Yeah, exactly. So again, you're holding this for three little eighth notes at 14, for example. Ku, rest, rest. O Domine, right? That's what it is. And 20, I think, is actually the same issue. Oh, I love when you all blow up the chat. It helps me so much. Yeah, same thing. So the issue is not so much the rest. I don't know if you did them differently. I will say maybe I didn't cut off well enough, but you should ignore that. It's the same thing. So here at 20, it's nis, ne, absorb. So you wait an extra one there because that quarter rest gets two eighth notes. All right. And then you said at 23, same thing. So rus, o, don. There's just those eighth notes keep going. And again, that, and to the point, I'm glad we got to cover that. To that point, that's one of the tricky things about this movement is that, again, it has this liquid singing line. And so you have to sort of keep it rhythmic. So I'll work to be more rhythmic today. as well. But you also should work to be rhythmic as well and mark those spots. But thank you, Michelle. That's so helpful. All right, let's start at the alto entrance. And let's just read up through that section. Let's read this opening part, and then we'll go and take it apart, okay? Starting with the alto entrance at the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Here we go, de penis. Off, off. Together. Off. 1, 2. Altos. Bass. Let's stop there, all right? Very good. Hope that helped a little bit. And and again, it's tricky because I think as I'm singing it, trying to be musical, I don't rhythmically end all of those cutoffs. So I'll do a better job, altos and tenors, of rhythmically ending those cutoffs tonight as I'm singing through it. So let's all go back to the beginning and let's just do. Oh, once you get lost, you're really in trouble. But actually, let's strategize, everyone. So I want us to strategize if you get lost now, because the most important thing. Measure 22 rests. Yeah, we'll get there in a second with all those rests. But here are the places where you can block yourself in, all right, that are really, really challenging. Okay, so there are moments where you can get back on the train. So let's say you get lost through this whole opening section, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I got lost at the word libera. If you then go to measure 11, where the tenors and altos come together in that thirds harmony. That's a great place to catch back up, right? So you might want to stop singing and wait till you hear that, right? Another place is when the altos come in again with the little imitative section at pick up to 15. It's another place. And then again, everyone go with me now, and then we'll get to everyone's favorite trouble spot that I may have messed up, all right? But everyone go to measure 19. That's another place, de ore leoni. So if you get lost, measure 19 is another place where suddenly altos and tenors come together. 1, 2. Great. So let's look at the faithful measure 22, and let's see if I'm a big dope and have messed it up. So everyone look at 22. So you're going to hold the rus. So if this is the eighth note, you're going to hold the rus for 3 beats, and you're going to put the S on that 1/8 note, and then you only get 1/8 note of rest. So I think it might be the S that gets us. So I'm going to start in measure 22, and I'm going to speak it as I read it. And hopefully I do this right from now on. So you're going to go rus, o, do. right, let's try that again. Everyone do this with me. Everyone sings it, except only the altos come in. But let's all do the Rus cut off together. So this is the Rus, measure 22 right on it. Hold it for 3 eighth notes. Here we go. 1, 2, here we go. Rus, O Domine. Let's do that again. On the Rus. Here we go. Ready? And Rus, O Do. We'll do that again. Rus, O Do. Now let's sing it. Tenors at your Rus note. We are on page 14 in the rudder, Sean, but we are in the offertory movement, measure 22. Measure 22 in the offertory movement. Measure 22 in the offertory movement. We're figuring it out together. I love when you all write in the chat. I really do see it. Even if you think I ignore you it really helps me so much. It makes this feel more interactive as well for me, which is happy. Because again, as a conductor, I lose my one thing, which is like, what are you all doing? All right, so let's sing the Rus now. Rus, Rus. We're all 22. We're all 22. Let's do this transition, and then we'll work this section actually while we're here. This is measure 22 in the offertory. That's the tenor note for Rus. That's the alto note. Here we go. Ready? And Rus. Let's do that again, and then we're going to go on and read it, and then we'll take the parts apart. All right, here we go. Rus, tenor, Rus, alto. 1, 2, here we go. Rus, and bass. That is such a hard 4 measures of music. You all are rock stars for getting it. So now let's start at measure 22, but I only want to hear altos and sopranos that are singing that top line. So this is measure 22, but just altos and sopranos. Sorry, Rus, altos and sopranos. Here we go. And Rus. Off. All right. Oh, I love my altos, dude. I know Judith loves her altos too, but Judith, you can sing this alto part with them. All right, here we go. Now, can we hear tenors at measure 23? Tenors at measure 23. Measures at 20. Tenors at measure 23. Here we go, tenors. And 1, 2, 3. My bad, tenors. Let's do that one more time. Tenors at 23. Oh, Misty, I love this part too. Here we go. Measure 23. 1, 2, 3. Bravo. Now, basses. Last but certainly not least, measure 23 basses. Here we go, basses. And 1. Jesu Christe ex gloriae, Deo Christe. And basses, note that really tricky text at the very end. Jesu Christe. Let me do that again, basses. Jesu Christe. Put that zoo on that sort of second eighth note in that little cluster of 3. Jesu Christe. All right, everybody now starting at, let's go to measure 19. Pick up the 19. De ore leonis. Pick up the measure 19. So we can practice this tricky transition, which is genuinely hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do that one more time. I'll count better this time. 1, 2, 3. One, two. And going on. Here we go. Let's do our ne cadence real quick. Ne cadence. Can I hear tenor and alto? Ne cadence. Measure 27 into 28. Ready? Just tenor and alto. 1, 2, and. Ne cadence. One more time. Ready? And. Ne cadence. And basses join us. Ne cadence. And then we'll go on. Ready? And. Do it one more time. Ready, and 1. Almost the same pitch as tenors, have a slight variation. Bravo. All right, back to the beginning. And let's work all that. And again, I'm going to keep trying at 14 in places to really rhythmicize my notes there. And I encourage you to do the same as a rehearsal technique. So for example, when you go to measure 14, everybody, and you have coup of la coup, you should go, so you feel those pulses. I'm going to do that tonight too, because that's going to help me, and I encourage you to do the same at home. All right, first alto entrance, and then we're going to go to the very end and work the ending of this movement. Thank you all for your questions and your input and being with us. Here we go. Starting with the altos. Not too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tenor. Here we go, pick it to 11. Off, off. Off, off. Here, get back on the boat. 19. And. Here we go. Ne cadence. Bravo. All right, go to the end now. And by the end, I mean measure 75, 76, measure 77. I'm going to give everyone a minute to get there. Measure 77. When we're suddenly in 4 parts. And yes, no, that cutoff is tricky. And again, this is like I'm actually feeling so giddy about the way the chat has worked out in those questions, because as long as I don't look at it while I'm playing, because I mess up if I look at the chat while I'm playing. But I love that you put them there, because that really helps me know what you're doing. Because again, as a conductor, my ears are what I usually have, and I don't have that right now. And so it's really helpful for you all to put in where your trouble spots are, either now or after the fact, or on Facebook or any of those places. All right, so are we all there? Measure 77. That's where we're suddenly in 4 parts, and we lead to our big moment at the end. We're gonna really sing through this once all together, and then we'll take it apart part by part, and then we'll do it all together, and then we'll move on. All right, here we go. Starting with the basses. So we get this D major chord, and then remember, tenors, you have a quick entrance. The basses go, oh, and you come in on that octave above them. All right, here we go. Basses and tenors gonna lead us. Here we go. You get, at measure 77, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That is like we talked about it last week. We geeked out about it last week, but that 77 to the end is just like, he could have just written that and written the perfect piece. All right, let's take it apart, shall we? So I want to take it part by part, starting in measure 77, because I think that's the easiest way to go about reviewing this. So let's start with the basses. We'll work our way up. Bass is starting in measure 77. And again, you all can be practicing. Sometimes it's really good practice to only hear one part, but try to sing your part against it. So that's a really good technique. But let's start with just basses at measure 77. Oh, do, mi, here we go, basses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, do, mi, Jesu Christe, Rex Gloriae, Rex Gloriae. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Off, off. And then we'll do the amens in a second. That's why basses, I think the hardest part of that for you is counting the rests, starting in 80. Rest, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Off, off. That sort of 4 measures there is tough. So work on counting that, speaking through that, singing that as we work with the tenors. Tenors, you come in on right on the downbeat. You don't have a pickup. So the bass is obviously, oh, and then you hold that F sharp for a while. Don't be afraid to sing falsetto there. That's okay. All right, here we go. All right, so tenors, you ready? Tenors in measure 77. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Good. And you see me start to tap myself there. That really helps me. And I encourage you all to keep that eighth note tapping steady against you. That's really going to sort of root you. All right, tenors, practice that. Measure 78, alti. Alto is a measure 78. And then we'll put it all together and do the amen. Then we get to move on to Anu state. All right, ready, altos? Here we go, altos, 78. 3, 4, 1. Very good. Oh, that's such a good part. That tapping really helps me. All right, now measure 79, soprani. Soprani at measure 79. You know, he doesn't give a lot of soprano stuff here. He really saves you up for the end, and then he lets the sopranos really sort of just float. All right, measure 79, soprani. Here we go. 3, 4, 1. All right, beautiful. Now, everybody now, I know it's tricky. I know we still got bugs to work out, but everyone now at 77. Everyone now at 77. Then we'll put this away for the night so you need to go listen. Measure 83 alto part is my favorite. Oh my gosh. Yes, the altos just get. The D above middle C is one of my favorite notes an alto can sing. It really, especially when it's against the soprano singing in F sharp. It's the best. All right, measure 77. Bassists are going to start us off. Tenors are going to come in shortly after. Here we go. 77. 1, 2, 3, 4, bass. 3. Everyone. Here we go. All right, and while we're here, lost to 85. Yeah, so that page turn is really tricky. So I would encourage everyone to turn that page really quickly. And then again, Judith, a great place to get back on if you find yourself getting lost to 85, ne cadans, because we're all really together there. Again, in a movement like this, I would be telling you, find the places where you can get back on the horse if you fall off of it. All right, now, let's look at the amen really, really quickly. So starting at the amen begins at pick up to 90. Pick up to 90. And can I just hear altos and sopranos? Altos and sopranos at pick up to measure 90, starting on the word amen. All right, here we go. Alto note, soprano note, amen. Here we go. Oh, I messed it up. Key change. Do it again. Here we go. Ready, and. Now, tenors and basses, pick up to measure 90. Tenors and basses, pick up to measure 90. Here we go. All bass, tenor, ready, and. Everybody now, and then we're going to leave this movement for the night and sight read a little bit of the On You Stay, do some announcements, then do a little bit more review of the first movement and the Liberace. All right. Amen, everybody. Pick up the 90. Thank you for working so hard. This will be the hardest part of this whole experience is working on this movement. I guarantee. Bass, altos, amen. Here we go. Put that one away for the night and find the On You Stay. We're not going to rehearse the On You Stay hard. I just want to do a sink or swim sight read of it to give you an idea of it. And I'm going to send you away this week to go listen to it and get it in your body and get it in your brains. It's every movement in this, I say it's amazing. And so find the On You Stay. It's movement 5. If you got a page number or for folks here or something like that, you can send it our way. You can send it our way there. And that'll be just fantastic. But we are going to start with the On You Stay. Now, everyone look, just like the first movement, we had that Requiem, that tenor solo line. I, again, want all of the altos and sopranos and basses, everyone, to sing the tenor line at the very beginning to create this chant like in the tenor octave. So, because look at it, it's just middle C. And if the sopranos, if that low A is low for you, just leave it out. That's fine. But on you stay, it's really, really beautiful. I know. Well, you get to be part of the glorious tenors, at least here at the beginning of On You Stay. And we're gonna get to sing with others soon. It's gonna happen. So movement 5, On You Stay. Let's do it. Let's sight read it, sink or swim. Then we'll look at the opening a little bit, teach that melody, learn that melody all together, And then we'll dig into the hard stuff in the middle next week. This one's wild, folks, so hold on to your hats. I'll do my best to shout out measures. All right, here's the beginning. It's got one of the most memorable intros ever that I might screw up. So go listen to a recording after this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Close. Tenors, everybody. One, two, here we go. Tenors, come back. Everyone's a tenor. Measure 45 is coming up. Sopranos. Okay, we're almost there. All right, this is 75, and this is going to be very familiar. 75. And. Slightly different coming up. Pay attention. Off. 1. Oh, what another great movement. So good. I love it. Everyone go back to the beginning with me. If you got a little lost, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to dig into this. This is our next task. But I think in the time we have tonight, we'll take us 4 or 5 minutes. I want to learn the very opening, the tenor opening that we're all going to sing. So this starts the very beginning, measure 7. And let's just all sing the melody. And we're going to sing it on do-do-do once. Everyone's a tenor in this octave. Here we go. Everyone's singing do-do-do at measure 7. Ready, and 1. Okay, now everybody now, and yes, George, we'll get to that tenor and bass crossing when we get there next week. That is one of the trickier parts for all of us to read. Thank you, George, for that. Now back at the beginning, measure 7. Now here's the text. And again, this is the Lamb of God, text we all know really well, or those of us who were brought up in this faith know, and it's a beautiful one. So everyone say agnus, agnus. That G becomes an ng sound. So agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, dona eis requiem. I'll say that again. Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, dona eis requiem. All right, let's all sing that now. Agnus, and then we'll put this away for tonight. Ren, 2, and Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata Beautiful. All right. Now, let's take a few moments and do a couple announcements. And at the very end of this, I'm going to send you all a link, and I'll also post it in the Facebook group and email it out as well next week. But I just want to give you guys a couple announcements. We have some things to announce. And moreover, we sort of have a plan for how we're going to move forward in this time. So first and foremost, the first date, because I think one of the hardest things about this time we live in right now is I feel like there's like no dates. We're all waiting for the next thing, right? We're used to planning ahead in life, and that has become very challenging. So, but I want to give you a date. May 16th, say that again, May 16th of this year of our Lord, 2021, May 16th, is going to be our virtual concert premiere of this concert we're working on. It's a little later than usual, and that's to give us some extra time with hopefully good weather, and just some more time in general to work through some of the things we're going to do to get this piece recorded. So May 16th at 4 p.m. will be the premiere of our virtual concert. And so I just wanted to put that date on your calendar because a lot of people had asked about it, but that's May 16th. All right. Then the other thing is I really want to start outdoor singing as soon as possible. We are obviously still restricted by some gathering requirements that exist in Virginia and Loudoun County. We think that those are going to be in the process of sort of expanding, certainly with outdoor events pretty soon. And so as soon as we can start having outdoor rehearsals again, we're going to do it. Obviously, again, virtual rehearsals are not going away, but we want to get those outdoor things back because those were a lot of fun. I miss it. And I know those of you who came to those really, really enjoyed it. Also, next week, we're going to send out the first set of tracks, of recording tracks, so you can begin to record parts of this piece for the all virtual aspects of our concert. As well as in early March, probably the first week of March, so we'll have a music pickup for that final piece that we'll work on as well. Now, the big thing, so again, that's outdoor rehearsals are going to start coming back, as well as, again, you now know the concert date. So that's really exciting. The outdoor rehearsals also dependent on weather, right? But the one thing that we are going to start, hopefully by no later than mid-March, is to do some indoor, socially distant, super safe recording sessions and rehearsals inside with small groups. Again, not the full group, not the full complement. We're not ready for that, but with small ensembles. Now, let me say I've been doing this at church. And again, I'm no risk taker, and know that all the things that we're planning on doing during this time have been done really successfully and safely with choirs around this area. And yes, Julia, one thing about March 14th and the clocks changing is we get more daylight in the afternoon. That's why mid-March, a lot of these changes are going to come into effect. But I'll stop looking at the chat. But back to this point, these indoor recording sessions, we're probably going to start with octets, so 8 singers that will record different parts or movements of the piece in different sections. And this will all be very organized. Again, the things about singing indoors, those regulations we're talking about are these. Everyone is masked as they sing. Everyone is doubly social distance from each other. So instead of just sort of the 6 feet we're used to, we're talking 10 to 12 feet in our distance from one another. Third is timing. Timing is really important. So we will be in there for a 30-minute block. And then we're going to leave the space and let a complete air change happen in the room. And then we're going to come back for another 30-minute chunk of time. And that, again, allows for air to change in the space, and we may even bring in a new group. Now, as you can imagine, there's a number of you. There are some of you who aren't big fans of virtual rehearsal, who love to come to outdoor, and some folks who will really be interested in this, I know. Like, Max, how are you going to make it all happen? If we're going to make it all happen. Well, Mallory, I'm not going to ask for COVID vaccine info, but you can include that if you would like on the survey I'm about to send you. So on that survey, I'm about to send you all is just to gauge your interest of singing indoors. If you are not interested at all, you know you will not be interested in this, do not fill it out. But if you have an inkling of interest, there are some options on this form that I'm going to send you that say things like, are you interested in singing indoors with us this spring? And you can answer, not yet, but maybe in a few months. Not yet, but maybe when the COVID situation improves some more. Again, those are options. So if you're even kind of on the fence, or you think in maybe this spring you might feel comfortable, please fill out the form and reach out so I can include you and I don't miss you. Because after I know who's interested, I'll start to build a schedule. The start date on this, we may even be able to start these indoor events before we begin our outdoor events, weather dependent. And also we are in conversation with Leesburg Community Church just to make sure they're on board with our plan. We think they will be, but obviously we need to make sure that is patched. This is all to say that, again, you're going to fill out this form and then I will begin to organize these octets. Now, if cases really improve and we're able to have maybe 12 singers, maybe 16, we'll cross that bridge when we come. But we're going to start with the idea that we're working with 8 just so we can plan. And again, I'm just really looking forward to this. It's going to be really, I've done some of this with my church choir. It's been really successful and a real nice bomb. And then again, hopefully things get way better in our world and in our community as we head towards the summer. And I have some more things planned and excited for that time. Carol, will the octets be balanced for parts? That is my goal. But what's neat about the Foray Requiem as a piece is there are some movements that are themselves not super balanced. So for example, if we have a lot of sopranos, for example, I might have you all record the In Paradisum, which is almost like 95% soprano, 80% soprano. I might have the sopranos, I may have an octave that's just sopranos come in and record that. Likewise, with the opening of the Offertory, I might just have a group of tenors and altos come in and record that, right? And again, we're still working through this piece together, piecemeal event. Now, this being said, I'm really hopeful that things are much better come late spring. And if we can all get together outdoors to have a sing through of the Requiem, I think that would be super cool, the whole piece in total. But still, it's going to be very pieced together. It's going to be very specific, but it should be really fun and it should be an outlet. And again, what I'll say though is, I'm going to keep saying what I've been saying. So now we have some more firm information, more firm ideas, but I really want you all to know that it's still really important that each week I will keep trying to post earlier and earlier in the Facebook group. And Sharon and I are going to work to make sure that that weekday email, and your section leaders, that weekday email comes out on Wednesday. The reason that's important is these things become very important. Weather, flexibility. And so it's really important, I think, that we all during this time just keep being flexible and in communication. In case something needs to be canceled, or in case something needs to be added, right? Or, hey, this week we're not going to do indoor. We're going to have a very complicated Sunday schedule that's probably going to start at 4 and work until virtual rehearsals in the evening. So it's just important that I'm going to try to keep working to be in better communication with you all, but I need you to also be sort of on top of which you guys are. But I just want us to keep pushing that so that we can keep, working through this time. And heck, if we find that we need to add pieces or change pieces to suit the people we have indoors, we'll do that. The goal is that we want to sing together. But I really think the Foray lends itself to this type of broken down recording session mode. I picked this piece not knowing this is what we would be doing this spring. I picked it last year in June. But it was a blessing because it really, I think, is a Teflon piece that we can work a lot on. So rehearsal isn't over. I still want to sing through a couple other songs, but just so I don't forget, here's the link to the survey. You can open it in a browser now. I'll post it to Facebook later. But again, please fill this out. If you know you are 100% not interested, you don't feel like you have to fill out. But if you're on the fence, go ahead and fill it out. Okay. So that's the form. I do need more wires behind me. I mean, it's incredible. The tech side of this is going to be the most complicated. But if we can sing and stay together as a choir, everything will so be worth it. So that is that. Very exciting. Keep being in communication. But again, May 16th, that's the one definite I can give you. May 16th is our virtual concert premiere. And and I guarantee you, probably by the start of March, if not the second week of March, we will be beginning both our indoor and hopefully our outdoor events as well. So again, this season started slow, not slow. It started with so much excitement and learning, but it started in our homes, cold on in YouTube Live. And my hope is that we can, again, we're still going to have our virtual element every week. If you're someone who's going to need that, we are going to be here and we're going to make it so high quality and so able for you to participate. I really am very sensitive to that fact. I don't want folks who won't be comfortable or physically are not able to join us at these outdoor things. I don't want you to think that we're just going to neglect the virtual stuff. It is my deep passion to help us all in whatever way we can make music. I think that's a deep passion of mine, is that form of accessibility that we want to have. And actually, I'm going to continue that into our new normal as well as we go through into the future. But so I don't want those folks to worry. We are not going to neglect you. We are not going to leave you behind. We are all, again, the name of this season was Many Places, One Voice, and we are sticking to that for the end of the year. All right, let's end with one more movement tonight. We've done a lot of Liberame, so let's let Liberame chill in the past. And maybe we'll get. I know what we're gonna do. I want to go one section Liberame. I keep faking you out. Everyone go to Liberame. Liberame, and I just want to work one section in Liberame. So can everyone go to Liberame? Measure 37, tremens. I just want to review this. I think this is probably the trickiest part of the piece. Thank you for the page. Again, measure 37, tremens. Measure 37, tremens. And I just want to do measures 37 through measure 52. All right, tremens. Here we go. Trumpets, the bass note, alto, soprano. 1, 2, tremens. Here we go. Let's do that one more time, and then we're going to leave the Liberame and go to the beginning of the piece. Tremens, everybody. Tremens. Trembling. Can it have drama in it? Can you scare someone in your house? Maybe scare your cat or something? Tremens, tremens. It should have trembling in its voice. It's fear. There's not a lot of fear in this piece, but this is one of those moments. Here we go. Bass note, alto, soprano. Tenors, you come in there. Here we go. Tremens. 1, 2. Here we go. Let's go on. Hold it out. I failed. Keep singing. And everybody. Bravo. And before we end tonight, let's do the first movement. Let's just do a read of the first movement to end our night of review. Exciting things on the horizon. All right. Requiem aeternam. Again, one thing you'll keep noticing about this piece, and you sort of saw the big one, which is in the Agnus Dei, we come back to this theme, right? And then it's changed, right? But here in the beginning, we set the tone for the whole piece. All right, here we go. Requiem aeternam, and then we'll call it a night, have some dinner, hang out. Hopefully it doesn't snow too bad tomorrow. I'm so done with snow. All right, here we go. Here is that hammer, boom, that final, that crossing over into heaven or into the abyss, into the middle space. That's what this big hammer blow at the beginning is. So here we go, folks. 1, 2, 3, sing. It's soft. Still soft. Soft again. Here we go. Basses. Beautiful work tonight, everyone. So proud of you. Again, fill out that form so we can begin planning. May 16th, it's going to happen. All this learning is not in vain. All this learning is going to get us to that really awesome place. Again, I'll go and post this as well in the Facebook group. But again, so thankful for you and your commitment to art, to music, and to each other. We're going to get through this. It's going to get better. I'm so excited for what the spring and the summer and hopefully next year holds for us. We are going to be so proud of ourselves for staying together in this time, and we're going to be really thankful for it. So go fill out that form. I am going to post it in the Facebook group. You'll get it in an email. And again, stay on top of your email because every week is going to probably have its own surprises, its own things that make it different. So it's going to be a big spring, and I'm super excited. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Bye-bye.